Of all the dirty power plants that burn fossil fuel, some of the dirtiest are peaker plants.
I'm standing in the fields behind Allendale Elementary School. Behind me is the Pittsfield generating plant. Peaker plants tend to run very infrequently.
Peaker plants are only fired up a few days a year during hours of peak demand for electricity, such as the hottest summer days.
But when they do run, tend to be among the most polluting plants.
We have 3 peaker plants right here in Berkshire County. When owners of the 2 smaller plants were asked about converting to clean energy, the response was overwhelmingly positive. But Hull Street Energy, the owners of the massive Pittsfield generating plant, ignored all attempts to contact them. Legislators, environmentalists, and health professionals are saying it's time to replace all peaker plants with clean battery technology.
What I find very sad is it's a double hit for our children who not only are dealing with the effects of increased pollution in their environments now and how that may affect their lung development and diseases like asthma, but they're the ones who are going to have to deal with the effects of higher CO2 concentrations and global warming in the years to come.
Peakers create a huge amount of greenhouse gas, which heats up the climate. They cost a fortune to run, causing electricity prices to spike. And they put clouds of toxins in the air we breathe.
Even short-term exposure, like on a very bad air quality day, would be a problem for that person's health.
These neighborhoods are environmental justice neighborhoods, designated because of their levels of economic attainment, English language. In Pittsfield, for example, we look at a census tract in the Morningside area and look at a census tract on Outer William Street. And the life expectancy difference between those two is stark. I think it's like 10 years.
Depending on wind and weather conditions, these toxic plumes may drift as much as 10 miles.
Toxic emissions from local plants are having real impact on our communities here in the Berkshires.
We need to make sure that our peaker plants, there's a pathway to closing those.
For 2 of the 3 Berkshire's peaker plants, conversion to clean energy looks promising.
The approach that we took was to send a letter to the peaker plant owners and saying, have you ever thought of doing battery storage and renewables? The owners of the Dureen and Woodland plant responded right away.
We had a fantastic conversation with Coach Hendricks.
When I got your letter, it was a happy coincidence because we are of similar mind. We would like to transition these to clean energy.
What you're saying is music to my ears, and a lot of us, I'm sure, that we also want to take a bigger step forward when it comes to batteries and storage and state programs in that regard.
Whatever we can do to kind of accelerate your company timeline to make these improvements, certainly in my district, would be very welcome news.
We want to start on this development and discussion and plan immediately.
Battery storage technology is something that people believe has gotten a lot better in the last few years. It's also gotten a lot less costly to implement.
In Sterling, Massachusetts, they switched to battery storage, and they're actually saving $400,000 every year.
Although 2 plants look like they're going green, it still leaves the 3rd plant, Pittsfield Generating, by far the largest. This plant is so dirty that even though it only operates 2% of the time, it is the 2nd biggest polluter in Berkshire County. Batteries can replace peaker plants, even of this size, and they already are. But Hull Street Energy of Bethesda, Maryland, the owners of Pittsfield Generating, have so far been completely unresponsive to requests for dialogue.
I'm still hoping that we can meet with them and take that kind of path, but if not, we're ready to protest and see if we can have their permit denied.
Weekly protests have already started near the Pittsfield plant, and the air quality permit for Pittsfield Generating is soon up for renewal.
It's all part of being able to say, look, peaker plant owners, it's in your interest now. The state can continue to provide more and more incentives so that it's happening on its own, but also we have other tools and kind of sticks to use as well.
If the air quality permit is denied, that plant's polluting days are over. It's too early to tell what the future will hold for Pittsfield Generating, but for proponents of clean energy, the message is clear. Put poisonous peaker power plants in the past and that's a lot of peas.